Today's class, we're going to begin lying down on the back with the arms in a goalpost position, knees bent, feet on the floor. So welcome back. If you're new to the channel, we have a bunch of playlists, or if you're not new to the channel, we have a lot of playlists on the channel where you can find different types of yoga classes. Also, we're going to be doing a 30-day challenge for the new year. So I recommend that you check out the playlist section. So now bring your right knee into your chest and start to stretch your left leg out along the floor. As you push through your left heel, roll the inner left thigh down. Now slowly start to stretch your right arm overhead. Breathe steady, smooth breaths in and out through the nose. Then change legs. Hug the left knee into the chest, stretch the right leg out along the floor. Press through the right heel, roll the right inner thigh down. As your knee comes in, start to reach the left arm back. Breathe length into the spine. So try not to let the spine lift or sink. Instead, visualize from the tailbone to the crown of the head, you're as long as you can be. Bring your hand and your knee back up. Change sides, hug the left knee in, this time right knee in. This time keep the left leg elevated away from the floor about 12 inches. Then change sides, right hand to the left knee, left arm reaches back. Try not to let your belly lift as you change sides. Exhale, slowly change sides. Inhale to reach, lengthen. Exhale, slowly change sides. Try not to let the neck lift or shorten. Keep going side to side. Inhale to reach. Exhale to change sides. Keep your navel pulled into the front of the spine. Again, change sides. Find a pattern with your breath. Doesn't have to be exactly like mine. Exhale, change sides. Good. Now take the left leg straight up, right leg straight out, and slowly change sides. Keep the tailbone lengthened out of the lower back. Exhale, slowly change sides. So keep scissoring the legs, moving slow and steady. Instead of flinging your legs around using momentum, go slow so you can feel the muscles in your middle work. To challenge yourself more, stretch the arms overhead. Keep the lower back long. Don't let your back ribs start to lift. Exhale, change sides. Exhale, change sides. Exhale, change sides. Pull the front ribs in and down. Exhale, change sides. Stretch the arms long like you're reaching back for something. Exhale, change sides. Exhale, change sides. Good. Now take both legs straight up. Really firm up the legs. Reach to your feet like you're lifting the ceiling up. Tone the abdominals. Lengthen out. Reach. And now slowly lower the legs a third of the way. Don't let the navel lift. See if you can lower a few more inches, and then straight back up. Exhale, lower a third of the way, hold your belly in. Lower another third of the way, pause, and bring the legs straight back up. One more time, lower a third of the way, belly in. Lower another third of the way, pause. A few more inches, legs straight back up. Lower another third of the way. Maybe another one. Lower another third of the way. All right, legs straight back up. Then bring your hands behind your head. Lift your chest up to your knees. Lift your tailbone up, buttock up, so the lower back presses down. You're curled up. Lift up and squeeze with the legs. Good. Now lower the left leg and bring the left hand to the outside of the right ankle. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale to the left. Inhale to center. Hug your knees into your chest. All right, rock yourself up to seated. And step back to downward facing dog. So in down dog, hands go shoulder width apart. Make sure the wrist creases are parallel to the front of the mat. Take your feet hip distance apart. Inhale into plank pose. Exhale, stretch back into down dog. Warm with the shoulders. Inhale into plank pose. Reach back through the inner legs, legs firm, navel up. Exhale back to downward facing dog. Again, inhale into plank pose. Exhale, glide back, downward dog. Inhale to plank. Set the knees down. Shift forward. Lower slowly to elbow height, but keep the collarbones broad. Don't let your shoulders round. Lift straight back up. Again, inhale, slowly lower. Core engaged. Exhale, press back up. Again, lower slowly, keeping the collarbones broad. Lift straight back up. Lower slowly. Preparation for chaturanga. Lift straight back up. Again, lower slow. Press back up. Good, then stretch the legs straight. Again, practice without the shoulders turning in. Straight back up. Downward facing dog. So if you lack the strength to keep the integrity of the shoulder girdle or the position of the scapula on the back, the scapulothoracic setting, then you're welcome to do it with knees down. Walk forward, inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Bring your hands to your outer hips. Come all the way up to stand. Mountain pose. Balance the weight of the body up over the ankles. Balance the pelvis over the ankles, shoulders, even the ears. Inhale the arms up. Find the same balance quality over the front of the ankles. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, Ardha, flat back, lengthen out. Plant your hands as you step back to plank. Shift forward, lower slowly to chaturanga. Lie on your belly, flip the toes back. Inhale into your first back bend, low cobra. Stretch the legs, legs active, inner leg stretching long. Spin the inner thighs up to the ceiling. And as the navel draws up to the heart, plug the shoulder blades onto the back. Keep that as you press into up dog. Don't let the shoulders turn in. Turn the inner armpits forward, lift your chest. Stretch back to down dog. Look between the hands, hop or step lightly up to the top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. Press down into the feet. Inhale, come all the way up. Raise your arms up, reach. Exhale the hands to your heart. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, Ardha, flat back. Step back. Lower slowly, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Breathe steady in and out through your nose. Breathe length into the spine as you stretch your legs. Look between your hands. Jump or step lightly up to the top. Inhale, Ardha, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Press down into your feet. Inhale, raise the arms up. As you press through the heels, reach up past your fingers. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Fold forward. Inhale, Ardha, flat back. Plant the hands. Step back and lower, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Bend the knees, jump or step up to the top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. Press to stand, inhale the arms up. Exhale, Samastiti. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, flat back, Ardha. Plant the hands, step back, lower slowly, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, down dog. All right, now shift into plank pose. Pull your right knee up to your chest. Use your abdominals, lift up high. Inhale, slowly lower the knee. Exhale, pull the knee back up and round out. Inhale, slowly lower, hover at an inch. Exhale, pull back up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift your knee up. Pull up higher and step your foot all the way up close to your right thumb. Wiggle your foot up in between your hands. Hug your right hip in and come on up for crescent. So raise your arms up and straighten your legs. Good. Now stretch the left leg straight. Keep the lift through the back inner leg as you bend your right knee out over your ankle. Stretch through the back inner leg. Lift up through the front of the pelvis. Lift your side chest and see if you can lunge deeper into the front of the right heel without losing the stretch of the back leg or the lift of the front of the pelvis. Then lower the left hand down, turn your chest and raise your right arm up. Don't be alarmed by those marks on my back. I actually had some acupuncture done a couple days ago. So just some cupping marks. As you stretch your back leg, lengthen straight out through your spine. Lift and turn your chest. Lengthen through the midline. Bring your right hand back down. Turn your back heel down. Straighten out your right leg. Breathe length into the back of the leg. Step back to plank pose. Lower slowly, Chaturanga. Lift straight back up to plank. Pull your left knee up to your chest. Start to round out. Inhale, slowly lower. Exhale, back up. Inhale, lower slow. Exhale, back up. Lift round. Inhale, lower slow, flat back. Exhale, pull your knee up. Lift it. Inhale, lower slow. Last one, exhale, pull up. Use your abdominals. Lift, squeeze, and step your foot all the way up in between your hands. Wiggle it up close to the left thumb. Ground into your left heel as you come up for crescent. Stretch, straighten both legs, especially the back leg. Keeping the back leg straight and your belly lifted, start to lunge into the front of the left heel. Don't let yourself sink into your lower back as you bend into the left knee. So keep the stretch of the back leg, the lift through your lower back so you can lengthen the psoas. Ultimately, let your breath be the best teacher. So you can feel the breath is smooth and steady. Make little adjustments so you can feel that you can breathe more evenly. Now shift forward, lower halfway, lower the right hand down, turn your chest, raise your left arm. Lengthen straight out to the line of your back inner ankle as you turn and open your chest. Don't let the right shoulder turn in. Turn the right shoulder open, turn the chest. Keep stretching your back heel like you're pushing through a wall. Good, then bring the hands down, straighten the left leg as you turn your back heel down. Step back to plank pose. Lower slowly to Chaturanga. Lift straight back up. Downward facing dog. Bend the knees, look forward, jump or step lightly up to the top of the mat. Inhale, Ardha. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale into chair pose. Bend the knees, sit the hips back, stretch your arms up. Good, then come all the way up to stand. Bring your hands to your heart, Samasthiti. Inhale, Utkatasana. Bend the knees. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, Ardha, flat back. Step back and lower slow, Chaturanga. Keep the chest open. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Step your right foot, warrior one. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Step your left foot, warrior one. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, down dog. As you hold in your dog, don't just check out. Stay tuned into the breath and see where you can create more length and space. Improve the way the hands are rooting into the mat. Improve the way the toe mounds root. Walk up to the top of the mat. Inhale, Ardha, flat back. Exhale, fold deeply. Inhale, chair pose, bend knees, sit deep, Utkatasana. Come all the way up to stand. Bring your hands to your heart. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, Ardha, flat back. Plant the hands, step or jump back to Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, down dog. Step your right foot, warrior one. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Step the left foot, Vira one. Inhale, come on up, stretch your arms. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Bend the knees, look between the hands, step or float lightly up to the top. Inhale, find your length. Exhale, fold deeply. Inhale, chair pose. Come all the way up to stand. Hands to your side. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, Ardha. Step or float back, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Step the right foot. Inhale, glide up, warrior one. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Step the left foot, warrior one. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Hold in the dog, steady your breath. So whenever you come back to down dog, just think of it as like a pause to reconnect to the breath. Feel the body, feel the energy flowing. All right, now from down dog, roll into the outer edge of your right foot, take your left arm up. Notice the tendency for the right arm to want to turn in, which will close the shoulder. Instead, suck up through the wrist, turn the inner armpit forward so the front of the chest is open. Make sure you haven't locked the elbow to do it though. Stack your hips, stack your shoulders as best you can, and find your Tadasana line, the line from your ankles to your hips to your shoulders to your ears, also called the plumb line. Good, then glide to plank pose, press back to dog, roll to the outer edge of the left foot as you open up to the other side. Notice the tendency to want to sink into the front of the shoulder. Instead, lift up through the inner arm, turn the chest open, turn the shoulder, stack yourself up as best you can as you find the line of the ankles. So bring the body into alignment with the ankles. Pin in with your outer hips so your belly doesn't sink out. Breathe steady through your nose even though you're working all these firming actions. Glide back to plank pose. Set one elbow down and then the other, forearm plank. Roll to the outer edge of the right foot, take the left arm up. If it tweaks your shoulder to take your hand, keep your right hand out so wide, you can bring it in slightly towards the midline. Stack up as best you can again, just like the same actions in plank. Keep the jaw relaxed, face calm. Stay focused on your breath. Slowly come back to plank on the forearms. Go right to the other side. As you inhale, lengthen out through your midline. But then as you exhale, I want you to think of your whole rib cage, back, front, and sides being pulled down towards your hips. Think of like a bird cage lowering down towards the hips. Close all four sides evenly. All right, now slowly come back, plank on the forearms. As you exhale and hug the rib cage down for stability, lift the right foot up an inch, but don't let anything twist, the hips, the ribs. As you inhale, notice where you're shrinking, lengthen through your spine again. Good, same action as you change sides. Exhale, change sides, lift the left leg up. When you exhale, you'll find more stability and movement so that the rest of the body doesn't move. Now take the feet outer hips distance apart. On your exhalation, turn the hips an inch to the right. Don't let the shoulders turn. Don't let the shoulders turn in. Keep the upper chest broad. Come back to center. Exhale an inch to the left. Inhale back to center. Core's probably on fire now. Exhale to the right an inch. Keep your belly pulled up. Don't let yourself sink. Back to center. Turn an inch to the left. Stay steady. Keep your middle up. Good. Now press up into plank. Downward facing dog. Step your right foot all the way up in between your hands. Turn your back heel down. Inhale, warrior one. Open up to your side, warrior two. Reposition your feet so that your right heel is lined up with the ankle of your back foot. Your back foot's turned in slightly to protect your back leg, ankle, knee, and hip. As you press into the left heel, lift through the inner and outer ankle. Lift the sides of your chest and your lower belly. Now see if you can start to lunge deeper into the right heel, the front of the right heel especially, without collapsing the back, inner, and outer ankle, the low belly, or the side chest. Then straighten the right leg, reach out for triangle pose. Again, tune into the back heel, back ankle. Turn your outer right hip in and under. Open up like your back's up against a wall. Press down evenly through your right foot as your right hip hugs in. Open the chest just like we practiced in side plank. Spread the arms, reach open. Then bend your right knee, lift your belly, come back up to warrior two. Circle the hands to the mat, step back, slowly lower chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Step the left foot up, warrior two. Spin your back heel down. Through warrior one. Inhale, come up to warrior one, then open up to the side for warrior two. Line up the feet, heel to ankle. Right foot's turned in slightly. Left knee points straight ahead. So lift up enough so you can track the left ankle, knee, and hip. Lift through the back, inner, and outer ankle, the navel, the side chest. And see if you can start to lunge deeper without the back ankle collapsing. Keep the belly lifted to support the low spine. Open your chest to the reach of your arms. Spread past your fingers. Then straighten the left leg. Reach out for triangle pose. Tip the pelvis over the left thigh. Plug down evenly through the four corners of your feet, and feel as you press the feet evenly, you'll feel a lift of energy up through the legs. Bring that all the way up through the spine. Turn your chest and open up like your back's up against the wall. Bend your left knee, come back up to warrior two. Circle your hands to the mat. Step back and lower slowly, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Walk the feet all the way up to the top of the mat. Inhale for Ardha. Exhale, squat down. Bakasana, crow pose. Hook your knees into your outer upper arms. Squeeze in, keeping the collarbones broad. Lean into your chaturanga arms. Use your core. Don't round the shoulders to use the strength. Instead, keep the shoulder girdle open. Use the strength of the core to balance you up over your wrists. Set your feet down. Sit the buttock back. Navas, boat pose. Lower your butt down. Lift your legs up. All right, so we're trying to make a V shape with the legs and the torso. Tighten it up. Don't let yourself sink back. See if you can lift your feet all the way up without the spine sinking back. Now stick your thumbs into your armpit chest. Turn the armpit chest forward like I was showing as you stretch the arms out. Don't let the chest turn down. Now slowly round your back down. Stretch your arms back, keeping your belly pulled in, and then rise right back up into boat pose. Slowly lower back. Reach the arms. Exhale, squeeze up and lift. Inhale, slowly stretch back. Keep your front ribs pulled in. Exhale, squeeze in and lift. Again, inhale, round the spine down. Reach back. Exhale, squeeze in and lift. Inhale, slowly round down and reach back. Exhale, squeeze in and lift. Inhale, slowly round down and reach back. I don't know how I did so many of these. Exhale, squeeze in and lift up. Inhale, slowly round down and reach back. Exhale, squeeze in and lift up. Hopefully last one. Inhale, round down and reach back. Exhale, squeeze in and lift up all the way. Cross the legs, plant the hands, jump back to chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, down dog. Hold in your down dog. Reconnect to your breath. All right, step your right foot all the way up in between your hands. Hold in your lunge for a moment. Reconnect to your breath. Stretch your arms back behind you. Preparation for warrior three. Open the chest. Right hip in. Left leg strong. Step up to balance on your right leg. Lift the left leg up from the inner thigh. Level the hips to the floor. So use your core to support you, but you're not like squeezing so much to where it restricts your breath or makes the jaw or the tongue tense up. Now lower your left hand down. I'm using a block so that my upper back doesn't round. You don't have to use a block. You can put the fingertips down on the floor if you're extremely flexible or you have freakishly long arms. But I don't have either one of those, so I use a little block so I can find my Tadasana alignment from my back heel to my crown. Push through your back heel, lengthen straight out. Use the reach of your arms to twist and open. Now bend your right knee, slide your left leg back for twisted triangle. Slide the block into the inside of the right ankle, or put the fingertips down. Lift your chest and turn. If you don't have a block, that's a yoga prop I really recommend getting. Like if you're going to invest in a yoga prop situation, block would be the first thing to get, then a strap. Pin your right hip in as you lift and twist. Bring your hands down, fold forward over your right leg, breathe into it. Plant the hands, step back, lower slowly to chaturanga. Lift straight back up, downward facing dog. Step the left foot. Have your block ready. Float your arms back behind you, open your chest. Stretch through your back leg. Shift your weight over into your left heel. Step up to balance on your leg. Hold here in Warrior 3. Level the hips. Find your Tadasana line. So I'm trying to create a line from my back ankle all the way out through the crown of my head. It's hard because the hips are going to want to open up to the right. Now bring the right hand down. Then the hips will want to twist so that the right hip falls below the left. See if instead of turning from the hips, you can turn more from your waist. Stretch through the back heel. Lift your belly as you lift and turn your chest. Spread your arms open. All right, now big step back, twisted triangle. Put the block down on the inside of the left ankle. Lift your chest and turn. Breathe the legs towards straight, but don't let your left hip swing out to the side. Hug the left hip back in. Bring the left hand back down. Good, step back. Lower to chaturanga. Inhale, plank. Exhale, dog. All right, time for a little break. That's been pretty intense. Let's do a stretch to kind of mellow things out. Step your right foot to the outside of your right hand. Lower your left knee down. Scoot the left knee back a little bit until you still feel a stretch in the front of your hips. You should look for that you're more on the top of the knee. Okay, now lift the back knee up. Stretch to your back inner leg. Turn your right thigh out so you roll to the outer edge of the right foot. Then bring the knee back in. Lower the left knee back down again. It's like just a quick little lizard variation there. Now bend your left knee so that the heel comes up. Press the top of the knee down. The feeling is like you're trying to stretch your kneecap away from you as you bring your pelvis towards the front of the mat. The pelvis like your hips. If that is intense, just stay there. If you want to intensify it more, reach back with your right hand to grab your foot or your heel or your ankle. Once you get your foot, turn the hips towards the floor again and start to stretch the hips again towards the front of the mat. It's like the left kneecap is trying to be dragged away from you along the mat. Where you feel the sensation, instead of trying to go past it to the next level of sensation, just stay there and breathe. All right, then release your foot. Scoot your left knee back a little bit. Breathe the right leg towards straight and dorsiflex the foot. Pull the toes back towards you. As you draw the sides of your belly up, move your chest towards your foot. Breathe into the back of the leg. All right, then rebend your knee. Ground the hands, step back. Step your left foot up to the outside of your left hand. Lower your right knee down. Scoot it back a bit. Now lift the knee and stretch the leg. Turn the left thigh out. Roll to the outer edge of the left foot. Try not to let your middle sink. Draw your belly up. Lift and lengthen through the front of the spine. Then bring the knee back in. Lower the right knee down. Bend your left knee. As you press down to the top of the knee, pretend like you're trying to drag your knee away from you as you bring your pelvis to the front of the mat. If it's intense, you might just want to stay there. So you don't need to add on if you're already feeling like real intense stretch. If you need to add on to feel a deep stretch, then reach back with your hand. You also might feel that the stretch goes higher up the leg, like closer towards the hip, instead of just staying down low by the knee. If you're so tight that it's just like stuck in your knee, be careful with how much you pull your heel towards you in this one. As the hips turn towards the floor, breathe into the front of the pelvis, open it up. All right, then release the foot, slide the hips back, Ardha Hanuman. As you pull your toes back towards you, draw your belly up and stretch your chest towards your foot. Deepen your left hip crease as you stretch your chest forward. So feel the tension start to release as you breathe. All right, now rebend the knee. Step back. Eventually to downward facing dog. Set your knees down. Take a little gap in between your knees, like an inch or two. Sit back in between your heels for Virasana. Then walk the hands back 12 inches. Turn the shoulders and open your chest. Press down through the knees. So just like in that last little stretch we were doing, pretend like you're trying to stretch the knees down into the mat and then stretch to the front of the thighs, front of the hips, roll the chest open. So you can think of this as like modified version of camel, preparation for Supta Virasana. As you lengthen through the front of the hips, the groins release down and the tailbone lengthens to the backs of the knees. Maybe you can lower down onto the elbows. Again, look for the stretch in the front of the hips, in the fronts of the thighs, instead of like it's tweaking your lower back. So I'm trying to stay lengthened through my lower back instead of just letting the arch come all there. That would be very easy. And my spine is actually really mobile, as most people's are there. We have a hinge point where we can just like tweak into it. Instead of doing that, keep breathing length. Then come back up. Come onto the hands and the knees, lower down onto your belly. Preparation for Dhanurasana. We'll start with Shalabhasana. Stretch the arms straight back, press your hips down, lift the legs, arms, chest up. Actually, just legs up an inch with the hand at the side, then lift the chest. Spread open the front of the chest, blades on your back. Stretch longer through your big toes, thighs in neutral. Lift the navel up to the heart and stretch your chest forward as the arms lift. Plug the blades down the back. Stretch even longer. Then bend the knees. Reach back for your feet or your ankles. Dhanurasana. Once you have your feet, lift the shins up and stretch the shins back towards the wall behind you. Release your feet. Put your hands down at your side. Press into upward facing dog. Glide back to down dog. Then set the knees down. Curl your toes under. Sit back towards your heels. Enough of that. Then we'll do a little bit of a different stretch. Now come up. If you have two blocks, you can do camel with the hands on the blocks. Otherwise, camel or camel prep. Hands on your buttock. Stand tall on the knees. And now pretend like there's a bar in your upper back that you're trying to back bend over. Press the front of the knees down. Open through the front of the pelvis like we were practicing in that last pose walking back. And maybe you can put your hands back onto your heels. I'm using blocks so I don't have to go quite as low. Press down to the shins, roll the chest open. All right, then press down into the shins, come back up. It's kind of a sad excuse for a camel pose. Hopefully yours can look a little bit better than that. Sit onto the block, sit up straight and tall. Let go of any judgments about your back bends. Twist to your right. Put your left hand to the outside of the leg, right hand to the inside of the block or fingertips on the floor. Reconnect to the breath. Back bends can kind of leave you with a little bit of excitement, can excite the nerves. So let yourself start to rest in the body again. Come back to center, twist to the other side. So I think this video is going to be coming up probably posting this just before Christmas holiday season. It's important to keep practicing, especially this time when stuff gets hectic. It's good for the nervous system, good for the tissues to keep moving things around so that the body stays healthy, especially with like all the sweets that we're eating this time of year, cakes, cookies, what have you. It can build a lot of inflammation. So when we move around, it helps the tissues, helps nutrients to flow through so our bodies stay healthy. All right, and come back to center. Stretch the legs. Actually, let's cross the legs for Ardha Matsyendrasana. So I'm using the block so I can sit up tall. So the left heel goes to the outside of the right hip and the right ankle goes onto the outside of the left knee. Get upright through the spine and twist to your right. Come back to center. Change the cross of the legs. Right ankle goes to the outside of the left hip. Left ankle goes to the outside of the right knee. Sit up tall as you twist to your left. Come back to center. Gomukhasana. So now cross the left knee right over top of the right knee. You can stay seated on the block if your hips are really tight. I get a better stretch in my hips if I sit flat and then start to walk forward, but you could feel what works best for you. Ideally, you want to release the creases of your hips as if someone put a rope across your hips and pulled back and down, like you could let those tissues release as you let the spine lengthen out over the legs. Inhale, come back up. Change the cross of your legs. Right knee right over top of left. Start to walk the hands forward. Imagine that your hips, your outer hips, had windows that you could open up and air out. Sounds weird. Sometimes people are very visual. If they have like imagery, they can focus on that. That can help the body to release. All right, now as you inhale, come back up. Uncross the legs. Stretch the legs straight out in front of you. Descend the thigh bones as you sit up tall. Raise your arms up. Dandasana with arms extended. Paschimottanasana. Reach out for the legs. Pull forward over your legs. So practice is starting to wind down now. Stay tuned to the breath. So just a couple of reminders. Again, that 30-day challenge is coming up. Look for that in our playlist. Great way to start the new year. 30 days of practice. Dedicate yourself to it. A few ways to support the channel. A lot of you guys have been donating. We really appreciate that.